Okay, so ready for a deep dive into a love story, one that I'm pretty sure you have never heard before.
I am ready. Let's do it.
All right. So today we are diving into I'm in Love with a Skeleton fantasy novel by Max Marshall.
Okay.
And we are specifically diving into Chapter 14, Tiago's adaptation. And this chapter really digs into some interesting questions about love and identity, all, of course, against the backdrop of this very fantastical world that Marshall has created.
Yeah, and I was thinking about this a lot as I was, rereading it, getting ready for today. And I think what is so compelling about it is that it uses this like really out there concept, right? Physical transformation, magic. But it uses it to get to something we all deal with, just wanting to be loved for who we are under it all.
Right, exactly. So, I mean, the premise alone is, intriguing. But why a skeleton? Like, what made Marshall decide to explore this very unique romance?
Yeah.
And then in Chapter 14, it gets even more interesting because our main character, Prince Tiago, has been transformed back into a human after spending a good chunk of the story as a skeleton.
Yeah.
So you think he'd be thrilled,
Yep,
right?
totally.
But he's consumed by this anxiety.
It is like this reverse fairy tale thing in a way. Like he gets what he thought he wanted and he's like, uh-oh, am I good enough now?
Right.
Like, has this actually made me more insecure?
Yes, exactly.
It is fascinating.
And I think it gets to that very human fear of will we still be loved if people really knew us, stripped away all the external stuff.
100%. And what I love about this chapter is it takes that fear and makes it literal. It is like magic as a metaphor. And I think it's something we can all relate to, those what ifs.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes you wonder how often do we bring that kind of fear into our own relationships.
Totally.
But this brings us to Sophia.
Okay.
Because her response is actually incredible.
Yes.
She's not bothered at all by his physical change. Like, she doesn't even blink an eye.
Well, and that is what I love about her, right? Like, she sees past all of that.
Yeah.
There is this line. Hold on, let me find it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You are more than just a prince in form. Our love knows no bounds, transcending the physical to embrace the essence of who we truly are.
Wow.
Right.
That's beautiful.
And I think it really gets at the heart of their bond, this deep acceptance.
Yeah. And their whole story, it unfolds in this mystical forest, right?
Oh, yeah.
Which just adds another layer to it, don't you think?
For sure. I mean, so often in literature, forests represent the unknown.
Oh, yeah.
It is like this journey of self-discovery. So the fact that they are finding their way through this setting, I do not know. It emphasizes how transformative their relationship is.
Because it is not just their own, like, personal transformations, right?
Right.
It is like this shared journey.
Exactly.
And then just when you think they've gotten there happily ever after, like, okay, he's human again, she loves him.
Right.
The chapter ends with this feeling that their journey is really just beginning.
Oh, for sure.
Like more changes coming.
Always.
Do you think that makes them stronger? Or does it make their bond more fragile?
Oh, that is such a good question. And I do not know the answer. I think it is a question we all wrestle with, right? Like, we change, our relationships change. It is inevitable. But you know what I was thinking about?
What is that?
We see Tiago's transformation, right? Like, front and center, we get it. But what about Sophia?
Oh, that's a good point.
What is going on with her? How is she changing?
Because love transforms both people.
Yes.
And so while Tiago's change is, like, physically obvious, Sophia's going through this whole other internal transformation.
And how is that going to impact their relationship long term?
Exactly.
So much to think about.
It really is a lot to think about. And maybe even, look at our own relationships.
Yes.
See how we are being transformed by love every day.
100%.
Well, until next time, thanks for listening.
This was great.